Welcome to the Mike and JD Show YouTube channel. Thank you for being here. I want you to do me a big favor before you check out this clip. I want you to hit the like button. I want you to throw in a comment and make sure you're a subscriber to this channel. And then I want you to share this video with your friends. Help us defeat the algorithm. And then if you like this content and you appreciate this content, please head over to patreon.com/the Mike and JD Show and support the show. That is how we actually get funded to be able to do this. So we thank you very much for being here. And now enjoy the clip.
Competition starting to get thick, it's the click, so I hope you watch your A game. A made no rain from the track when we unite and spit. This is an A game, better bring your A game. Competition starting to get thick, it's the click, so I hope you watch your A game. A made no rain from the track when we unite.
Our first topic, just because we're Sting guys, we're big time Sting guys.
Big time Sting guys.
He had a pretty crazy match last night on Dynamite. And after the match was over, it was revealed that him and Darby Allin will, in fact, take on the Young Bucks coming up at Revolution in a tag team match. Tony Khan's got a little bit of heat with me because he didn't book what I told him to book. Like, I always think that my ideas are the best, and I told him specifically to book Sting versus Samoa Joe for the world title, and he didn't do it. However, I feel like this is a pretty damn good alternative. I like the match.
I think it's a great idea. Like, the Bucks... People hate on the Young Bucks because, I don't know, they're the Young Bucks. They're kind of passive-aggressive to our Lord and Savior, CM Punk, so people are mad about that.
Well, and they are naturally douchey. They came out. They just are. They got this kind of like douchey vibe to them, and which makes them great heels. But that also spills over because I think like their personalities are probably a little bit dickish, and that's okay.
Yeah, I don't have to like this idea, this like, I think Lanza calls it merch table culture, which I'm a big fan of that phraseology. Like, I don't think I don't have to like the people I watch on TV. I'm not going out for drinks with them afterwards. We're not going out to dinner. Like, I did their characters in a TV show, man. I'm never going to meet them. I don't have to like them personally. Yeah. But what the Bucks are great at doing is they're great at having amazing tag team matches with talent that maybe kind of needs to be carried a little bit. Like Dave mentioned, Private Party and a Top Flight right away. Like, remember that match with Revolution 2020 with Omega and Page against the Bucks? Like, these guys are masters at putting on tag team wrestling matches. Like, this is a great thing. Sting and Darby against the Bucks. That's gonna rule.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
it's gonna rule.
Yeah. Now, I was looking forward to the idea that I gave them that they never agreed to, the Samoa Joe idea. But when it got announced that it was the Young Bucks, like, oh shit, that actually makes a lot of sense. It's like Sting probably doesn't want to do a singles match. He probably doesn't think that he could do one. Although I did feel like a Samoa Joe could have a really good match with them because I always liked Sting wrestling big guys. I thought he just had really good matches with guys that were bigger than him. He was always a good seller, and his comebacks were always really good. And he was like a fiery babyface, but he probably just doesn't want to do that. In fact, Dave said that he probably is the one that picked this match, and this is exactly what he's getting. And I think the Young Bucks are the perfect team to go out there and carry is a strong word because I don't think you have to carry Sting. Like the Bucks and Darby will do much of the wrestling action, and Sting will go in and he'll no sell some shit. He'll beat his chest. He'll do some stinger splashes. Probably jump off something he shouldn't jump off of at his age, and we'll go home, and it'll be a fucking fun match.
He's a goddamn madman, and the world is gonna be the wrestling world is gonna be a lesser place without Sting in it. I'm happy that we're getting this big moment. 15,000 seats sold already for the Greensboro Coliseum.
Yeah,
and man, it's gonna be a great show, but it's gonna be really sad, and I'm glad he's smart enough not to be Flair, to just leave when he still has a lot of goodwill and people still love watching him, and he got to go out his way. Remember when we thought the end of Sting was going to be that buckle bomb from Rollins?
Oh, that broke my heart too, because that was a good match up until that point. I liked that match with Rollins. I liked that feud with Rollins. Yeah,
that was fun. I'm very happy we got another Page.
Yeah, and I think they've mostly done it right. Although I did feel like AEW probably could have, anytime they book Sting in those cities from these last few months, they could have been like Sting's last night in Charlotte, Sting's last night. You didn't have to be on every single show, but kind of make that a bigger deal. But the fact of the matter is they got they're in Greensboro. They sold it out 15,000. It's not that big of a deal. But I did feel like it was a little bit of a missed opportunity to do kind of what they did for Moa and for Muto and Noah.
Here's the thing though. I like Sting not being the focus of the company. Muto was the focus of Noah. But
you don't have to make him the focus of the company to sell a fucking T-shirt that says Sting's last night in Charlotte, right? Or to say, hey, look, here comes Sting's last match in the middle of the card in Charlotte, right? Like that's not putting him the focus. The focus is on MJF.
No. The problem though is like AEW's got real problems with their merchandise, right? If you listen to the major complaint about AEW shows for the last 2 years is they never have enough merchandise. They never have it ready to go at the shows. They aren't competent in that division. And Dana Massey has been fired basically. And I don't know if fired might be there, but she's no longer there
they hired one of Vince McMahon's guys to run that department. Big fan of Vince. Apparently this guy, what was his name? Kosha Irby? Is that his name?
Like that. I forget
something like that. Yeah.
Something like that.
Huge fan of Vince. Yeah.
Big Vince guy.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, like, honest to God, like, I don't think they have the team to do that kind of stuff with the shirts because they just don't. Like, they were able to do it with the Punk stuff, but Punk is far more active as far as the T-shirt stuff goes. Like, he tends to go out and get shit done himself in that department. Where if left to the AEW's own devices, they just don't do that. And I'm happy that Greensboro gets to be the night. Yeah. And we don't have to go, Sting's last night in Chicago, Sting's last night in Sheboygan, Wisconsin, Sting's last night. And I think that's stupid. I really do. I don't like that. I would rather you keep the retirement be the retirement and let it be special. Because Muto prostituted the whole thing. And it's whatever. It made Noah some money, but they're not in any better place now. Yeah. I'm fine with
I don't
this.
know. Yeah, I don't know. I went to a St. Louis Cardinals New York Yankees game, right? And during that game, they had Derek Jeter come out. So this is his very last game in the city of St. Louis, and he waved to the crowd, and they made that a big deal. We all stood up and gave him a standing ovation. I think stuff like that's cool, right? Especially when the city has meaning to Sting's career, right? Or like it was a big Sting city, much like Charlotte, or if they would have went to Baltimore or Chicago, LA. Like I thought that would have been cool. I'm not mad that they didn't do it because I wasn't at any of those shows. I just felt like it would have been cool to do, and it was a little bit of a missed opportunity. But if the argument is they weren't competent enough to do that, okay, I get it. I understand that. Hopefully they're more competent in 2024. Look, they had a lot of fucking problems last year. They had a lot of problems. The way they booked Sting was not one of those problems. I thought they've done a really great job with Sting, and I thought they've handled everything, mostly pretty damn good overall. And the fact of the matter is, we're putting him in the Greensboro Coliseum, home of Mid-Atlantic and home of WCW and all that stuff, and got 15,000 strong. So I call that a win.
I would call that a win too. I don't have a problem with anything this company has done with Sting, right? Yeah. And we got a different Sting. Like this Madman Sting is not the Sting we had in TNA. It's not the Sting we saw in WWE. Like it's not this WCW Sting. It's been a different guy. Like that Sting wasn't jumping off of fucking rafters and shit. Like Sting when WCW would hang out in the rafters. This Sting's like hanging out with Darby going, I can make that jump. Like it's a different guy. It's kudos to him for being willing to change his character with the times, in that regard. So I think they've been great with Sting, and I have no complaints about how the Sting run in AEW has gone.
Is it time to reel Darby's little ass back in a little bit with some of the dangerous stuff he's doing? Like Mike as a fan doesn't care. Let him kill himself. I don't like let him go do all the dangerous shit. Let him break his entire body. No big deal. But then there's like Mike is like, a safety guy, right? like I'm an occupational safety guy, and I'm like, at some point, does somebody need to pull that kid aside and be like, look, man, you're great. You don't need to do this every single night, right? Like you don't need to just destroy your body. Eventually you're going to want to walk, when you're old, like, and he's probably not going to listen, but goddamn, like maybe like somebody with some leverage over him that might be paying his checks might be like, hey buddy, we got to slow this thing down. I want to keep you here for a long time. And I don't want to be paying your medical bills for the rest of your life because some stupid shit you did in the ring.
I'm torn. I'm not saying I need to watch Darby kill himself, but I think that part of the appeal of Mick Foley was the fact that he was going to give above and beyond, and he made those matches special, and he beat up his body for it, right? Maybe the brain you want to keep in better shape, but I mean, the rest of it, like, I don't know, like, is is Darby without the big risks? I don't have an answer for that question. I'm a selfish fan. I'll be the first to admit it.
Yeah.
I like watching Darby be Darby, and I'm not a safety guy. So I mean, like,
Yeah.
I don't want to see them. I don't want to say I don't want to see Darby not hurting himself, but I mean, part of the appeal of Darby is the stunt show, and I'm a fan of it.
Yeah. No, I get it. I was just I was thinking about that earlier today. I was like, man, this guy, like, this stuff's gonna catch up to him one day, and he's gonna regret some of the shit that he's been pulling.